episode of how the United States government works is about acting presidents and things like that. So there's only been 4 acting presidents. I'm going to say 2 actually, and 3 times have there been acting president. So an acting president is president because the real president can't be president. If that doesn't make sense, basically, if the real president has like surgery or something like that, there will be another president that will be president. There'll be acting president. So the 4 of them, you might have heard of him: George H.W. Bush, better known as George Herbert Walker Bush, actually made Worsley known. So George Herbert Walker Bush was a person that did things. He was actually ran at some point completely. He was at some point really president. But he was acting president for Ronald Reagan. Because Ronald Reagan had some cancer thing and he had to undergo abdominal surgery. So then Bush became an acting president, and apparently, according to the words of J.J. McCullough, or something, J.J. McCullough, I don't know how to pronounce it, the papers reported that he did nothing. He was only president for, acting president served really short terms, and he was only president for 8 hours. Seriously? What you doing, Bush? Speaking of Bush, George W. Bush became president later, and his vice president, I'm not going to say his first name, but I'm going to call him Mr. Cheney. Cheney, not Cheney. Mr. Cheney, he was vice president of Bush, of Bush Jr. and Bush Sr. Had some, I don't know, I don't want to explain this. He had something, and Mr. Cheney became acting president twice. The second time he made this letter to his grandkids, and even signed it. His first name, Cheney, from the acting president of the United States, Grandpa Cheney. Yeah, acting presidents are really simple. But in the previous episode, I talked about how secretaries of departments can be acting. This also happens with them. In fact, our current Secretary of Veterans Affairs is an acting one, and for some reason. And I do not know why. Anyways, he is Secretary of Veterans Affairs, and yeah. I don't think, and by the way, it doesn't just happen if there's like surgery. It can also happen if there's a tie in the Electoral College, which I told you how it worked in the first episode. If there's a tie in the Electoral College, footnote, CGP Gray, they can be the vice president. If the Senate has to pick the vice president and the House of Representatives has to pick the president. If the Senate picks the vice president, but the House does not pick the president, then the Senate's picked vice president actually becomes acting president until the House can finally make up its mind. But if neither are picked, then the Speaker of the House of Representatives will become acting president. If he dies before, during all this thing, I don't know, maybe the president pro tempore of the Senate, I don't know. I want to talk about what those are, maybe in the 5th episode, but this is the 3rd episode, and in the next episode, I will talk to you about, maybe, about how how Congress works, maybe. Wait, that's gonna be next episode. Wait, maybe I don't know what to do in my next episode. Maybe explain how the Supreme Court works or something like that. Even though I don't even know how the Supreme Court works. Maybe I can talk about. Maybe I can talk about history of the presidents. You know what? That's what I'm going to do in the next episode.